Welcome back to Whitt Acres. Today we're heading down to the vegetable garden to create a winter bug tower. So today we're going to be taking the cuttings from the garden and making a bug habitat so the bugs have somewhere to go and survive the winter. I wanted to mention before we got started today, I do have some merchandise for the channel. I have a website, Whitt Acres Designs. I have some designs with the channel logo, like this hat of my other channel, Whitt Acres Homestead, or the hoodie I'm wearing, Whitt Acres Nature at Home. It has enjoy nature down the sleeve, and grow to live, live to grow is written on the back. I also have a bunch of other nature inspired designs on a bunch of apparel and other products. So if you're interested, check out the link down below in the description and get your order before December 10th so it can get shipped to you before Christmas. There's a lot I need to get done out here in the vegetable garden. I want to get this pollinator ring cut back, and I also want to get these beds the rest of the way covered up. We have the asparagus bed that needs completely cut back and then covered up with leaves. And then the vegetable strip here and the pumpkin patch needs all weed whacked back so I can try and recover the area. And then I'm going to be coming in here with the compost from the barn and getting it all covered up and fertilized for the winter. We just had some rain last night and we're getting some more for the next few days, so I don't want to bring the backhoe down here yet, so I'm just going to get it cleaned up for now, and then later on I'll get that compost down in here and spread. Since we started cleaning up down here and cleaning out the raised beds, I really wanted to get this finished. It's really been on my mind. They say unfinished projects stick in your mind a lot easier, and this is just a mess and it's really cluttering up my thoughts. I want to get this all cleaned up and move on to something else. The forecast says it was supposed to rain today, so I was actually planning on scaping the 75-gallon in the fish room, but since it was so nice outside today, almost 60 degrees, I figured I'd come out here and try and get some of this done. I'm in zone 6A in western Pennsylvania, so we definitely get a winter here, and it being the beginning of December, I don't have much time left to do gardening outside. Since we're cleaning up the vegetable garden here before winter, it's going to take a lot of habitat away from the beneficial bugs that go dormant over winter in the vegetable garden. So we're going to be making a bug habitat out of this obelisk here so the beneficial bugs will have somewhere to stay happy over winter. You ready to get started, pup? Puppy. Oh. All right, I got almost everything cut back. So the pollinator ring here has a bunch of things in it, but we only had to cut back the butterfly bush and the gladiolas going around the ring. And I'm thinking I would like to do something a little different with the pollinator ring, kind of differentiate it from the walkway. Maybe get some rocks and make a rock circle around there so it has some separation. Also, the asparagus bed is all chopped back. And I got most of the pumpkin patch and the vegetable strip weed whacked down. It does take a little bit of time with that ryobi. You got to work your way into this long grass or it gets tangled up. I have the battery on charge right now, and then I can come back out and finish cutting down the pumpkin patch here. But I'm gonna try and get this wood and some of the other stuff laying around here picked up. And we also need to come in, clean up this grass here and these piles, but we're gonna be using some of this for the bug habitat. We have these gladiola stalks and these dahlia stalks. So the dahlia stalks are all hollow, and so are the gladiola stalks once they dry out. And that's gonna make nice little homes for beneficial insects. Also on the asparagus stalks, you'll find that there's a hole in them as well. So that's gonna add a lot of nice insulation for a bug when they crawl in there. But we're gonna chop some of this down to more manageable sizes. And then I'm gonna grab a few other things and I'll show you how I'm gonna make this bug tower. All right, so what I have here is about a 4-foot fleur-de-lis obelisk I got at Lowe's. It's just a wire obelisk I stuck here into a raised bed I made out of a culvert pipe. I put chives in here the first year and it did come back the following year, so it did perennialize in here. I'm not too worried about it if it does come back, so I am going to be covering this up. But chives is pretty hardy, so it might end up coming back anyway. What we want to do here for the bugs is to create some insulation so they can stay warm, as well as giving them a bunch of different surface areas and crevices that they can climb into. I'm going to be starting with a bunch of the mulched grass here on the base, and then we're going to be building up inside the obelisk as it comes out. Huh, pup? You ready? Huh? You going to help, buddy? And then we got to get the birds out to free range. It's a beautiful day. Now you don't want it packed in there too tight. You definitely want a lot of airspace. The air gaps is what gives it the insulation. Now starting on the bottom, we're gonna do some bigger sticks with the big holes, and then we're gonna work our way up, getting smaller and smaller, and we're just gonna layer that hay in there, as well as some of the hosta seed pods as we go, just to add texture in different surface areas. Is that straight? Yeah, straight enough. I cut some of the dahlia stems down to about 12 inches, as well as some of the gladiolas and some of the asparagus stalks. I'm just gonna stuff them in there. Then I'll come perpendicular, kind of hatch and cross them as they go up. There's also some seed pod in there. I think that'll add some insulation as well. And I also cut up a bunch of hosta stems into about 12-inch or number 2 pencil sizes. So we'll be putting these in as they go up and just start stuffing it. All right, I got the bug tower complete, or the vegetable tree. I'm not sure what to call it right now, but it looks really good. I trimmed it up with the hedge trimmer just to tighten up the edges, and I think that turned out really well. You can get really creative with what you use to make one of these bug towers. I used a lot of different things. I just started walking around the garden and started breaking things and cutting things to see what had a hollow stem in it. So we have gladiola stalks in here, we have hosta stalks, dahlias, as well as Shasta daisy, and zinnias turned out to be really well on the upper stem, not the lower stem. They were kind of solid, but the upper stem where the flower buds are, as well as all the little flower buds I shoved in there, they work out really well. And I also was layering in the cut grass in there for insulation. I put in some more of the zinnia heads there, and I put in some seed that was in the garden. I don't need it in my flower bed, so I figured I'd throw it in there, kind of like a cotton insulation. I'm sure something's gonna like it in there. And then I also topped it off with some dry leaves that I raked up, but I thought that was just a good touch to kind of cap it off and keep everything firm and tight in there. I think this turned out really well. Let me know what you think down below, and if this is something you might try in your garden. I still have more to get done out here in the vegetable garden, but I think that's going to be all for this one. We did create the bug tower and got a lot cleaned up here. Now I'm just waiting on the battery of the weed whacker to recharge so I can finish weed whacking this area. And then I want to bring down the compost so I can cover the pumpkin patch. But I can't do that because the ground is too soft right now and I don't want to make a lot of ruts. So I'm going to head up to the barn, let the animals out to free range for the rest of the evening. And if you love nature, make sure to subscribe down below. Hit that like button before you leave, and you can see me and Echo on the next one. Thanks for watching.